All of the supporters' expectations had been met by the Birmingham Open. Alex Yala had persevered through rain delays, overcame a difficult quarterfinal matchup with Manankia Soank, and survived a second-set scare against Alina Chareva. The final was set to be a classic, with the Philippine flags fluttering and Laban's cries resonating over center court. However, nobody anticipated what transpired in the final moments of the trophy ceremony. 25,000 spectators were left stunned by a spectacle that was so unexpected and so strange. The audience screamed as the cameras caught everything, and the film quickly went viral on the internet. Why is everyone referring to this bizarre, unexpected incident at the Birmingham Open as the most memorable photo of the grass season? June 7, 2026, Birmingham, England. Centre Court, Edgbaston Priory Club. An incredible championship match was about to take place. The top seed in the heart of the Filipino tennis scene, Alex Isla, was only one win away from winning her second WTA 125 championship. Her friend and former doubles partner Nikola Bartonkova of the Czech Republic, with whom she had suffered a devastating first-round doubles loss only 6 days prior, was waiting across the net. Center court was completely filled with spectators. With a frenzy that rattled the stadium's glass roof, 25,000 spectators, many of whom had crossed seas to see history, waved Philippine flags and sang Laban. The stakes were bigger than in any match Isla had played since her run to the Miami Open semifinals the year before. The excitement was electrifying, and the tension was tangible. There was a battle in the first set. Every prolonged rally showed how Isla and Bartonkova's chemistry developed throughout their brief doubles collaboration. There was no way for any player to separate. Bartonkova seized the first service break at 5-5 to take a 6-5 lead. She then won the opening set 7-5 while holding serve. The second set got off to a dark start. In the first game, Bartonkova broke Isla, giving her more momentum. The Philippine flags, which had fluttered with such assurance only minutes before, hung still as the Czech coach leaned forward in his seat. However, Isla has visited this place previously. She had refused to break after falling down Kareva 2-5 in the second round. She did the same in the second set of this final when she was behind 0-2. After a 2-2 stalemate, she quickly rallied to tie the score at 1-1. After 38 minutes, she won 4 of the next 5 games to finish the second set 3-6. Everything they possessed would be put to the test by the deciding set. Under duress, Isla's serve, typically a weakness, became a weapon. She recovered a 0-3-0 deficit to break Bartonkova and take a 4-2 lead after holding against double break points at 1-2. The audience could feel the finish line, but Bartonkova seemed unfazed. The Czech, who had persevered through 4 exhausting games to get here, extended the match by rallying from 3-5 to 5-5. Everything changed when the Philippine flags were silenced once more. Edgbaston Priory Club, Centre Court, Birmingham, England, June 7, 2026, 6:15 p.m. With the championship in jeopardy, the third set had reached its breaking point at 5-5. The Laban chanting had subsided to tense murmurs as Alex Isla moved to the baseline to serve the Philippine flags. 25,000 spectators held their breath. The box was hit by Isla's first serve. Bartonkova made a deep comeback, extending the rally to 12 shots. On championship point, Isla made a daring move toward the net, and Bartonkova's desperate lob missed the mark. Benefit: Isla. Then the unimaginable occurred. A guy stepped out of the throng. Not a tournament official, not a ball child. A young man wearing a bright orange jersey was a fan who went into center court, jumping over the barrier and sprinting in the direction of the net. The burglar moved quickly, swerving between the players and the umpire's chair while security guards pursued. The players froze, the audience gasped, and everything was caught on tape. When the man arrived at the net, he removed his shirt and turned to face the throng. The words, "Alex, marry me," were painted in large letters on his chest. Center court was silent for a brief, bizarre, almost theatrical moment. He was then tackled on the turf by the security personnel. After being stunned into silence, the crowd erupted in a frenzied, uncontrollable reaction that only occurs when reality triumphs over fiction, not out of rage, laughing, or disbelief. With her racket still elevated, Alex Isla stood at the baseline with a shocked and amused expression on her face. Across the net, Bartonkova burst out laughing. Even the umpire, a strict official who had witnessed everything, grinned. When the game resumed, The tension had been released and the energy had changed. Alex Isla, still shaking her head in shock, went to the baseline to serve for the championship. Edgbaston Priory Club, Centre, Birmingham, England, June 7, 2026 Court, 6:18 p.m. The invader has vanished. As the doors closed behind him, the security officers continued to yell, "I love you, Alex," as they pulled him through the players' tunnel. The court decided that the game could go on. The audience needed a break. As they processed what they had just seen, 25,000 fans sat in stunned silence. The Philippine flags hung limp in the twilight air, having just moments before been flapping wildly. Hushed talks and confused laughter had taken the place of Laban's chants. Did that really occur? With her hand still covering her mouth, one admirer murmured to her pal. Her pal shook his head in shock and said, "I think so. In the middle of the Birmingham Open final, I believe a man proposed to Alex Isla." The woman chuckled nervously and incredulously. Just in Birmingham. Nervous talk permeated the air as the commentators attempted to gather themselves. "I have been covering tennis for 30 years, ladies and gentlemen. I have witnessed weather delays, umpire disputes, players smashing rackets, and spectators hurling objects, but I have never, ever witnessed a marriage proposal during a championship point. And it appears that Alex Isla hasn't either," his co-commentator continued, she's still digesting, based on the look on her face. Isla had moved to the baseline and was attempting to refocus by bouncing a ball when the camera focused on her. Her look was a mix of laughter, incredulity, and the intense focus of a champion who was aware that the fight was far from finished. Across the net, Bartunkova continued to giggle. She glanced at Isla and shrugged, seemingly saying, "Only in tennis, right?" For the first time in her championship calm, Isla gave herself permission to smile a little. The umpire, a strict official with decades of experience, demanded silence. "Please, ladies and gentlemen, the play will start up again. To serve, Miss Isla." 15:30. Finally gaining a voice, the crowd exploded in applause, not for the match, but for the moment's pure absurdity. The cries of Laban resumed, and the Philippine flag started to fly once more. More powerful than before. However, there was a change in the stadium. After 2 hours and 37 minutes, the tension in center court had subsided. Despite all of its drama and intensity, tennis is still just a game, as the players, spectators, and referees were all reminded. A man wearing an orange shirt with a marriage proposal painted on his breast can occasionally disrupt the game. June 7, 2026. Several sites the video was posted in a matter of minutes. Unmistakable despite being grainy, unsteady, and shot from a dozen different angles. As the crowd erupted in laughter, a man wearing an orange shirt sprinted across center court, pulling off his shirt to show the words, "Alex, marry me," written on his chest. Security officers tackled him. The video has received over 100 million views in a matter of hours. In the Philippines, the UK, the US, Australia, and Canada, the hashtag Birmingham proposal was the most popular. The video of the turmoil was shared by fans who had watched the tennis match. A fan from Manila wrote, "My family and I were watching the game. We were somewhat anxious. Then this guy rushes into the court and asks Alex to marry him. For 10 minutes, we couldn't stop giggling. I no longer give a damn who wins. The greatest moment in tennis history is right now." One person said, "Only Alex Isla could motivate someone to run onto center court during a championship final and pop the question. That's a movement, not simply tennis." A third admirer said, "Alex was grinning when the security guys quickly tackled him. She was grinning despite her best efforts to concentrate. Our champion is that." Social media was overrun with memes. Images of the intruder being apprehended were altered to resemble historical photos, well-known paintings, and movie sequences. He was being dragged off the court by security officers in a widely shared tweet with the caption, "Restraining order when you see that you are ranked. And she is rated number 37. The official Birmingham Open account also joined in, sharing a picture of the deserted center court along with the words, "We've seen a lot of unforgettable moments at Edgbaston Priory Club. Perhaps the most memorable is this one. Hashtag Birmingham proposal an hour after the match, which she would later win with a score of 576,375 to earn her second WTA 125 title, Alex Isla responded. She shared a picture of herself with the trophy and wrote, "I said no to the proposal, but yes to the trophy." Laban. In a few of hours, almost 5 million people liked the post. Although the intruder's identity was never made public, his place in Birmingham's Open lore was assured. The following morning, June 8, 2026, Birmingham, England. Long after the grass had been mowed, the memory of that bizarre, unexpected scene would remain. The trophy had been raised, the confetti had been swept away, and the marriage proposal had been graciously turned down. The interruption might have been disastrous for Alex Ella, a distraction and a momentary loss of concentration. Rather, she turned it into gasoline. With the same poise that had characterized her entire career, she served out the following 2 games, won the championship, and raised the trophy. She continued to chuckle as she added, "I've never experienced anything like that," during her press conference following the game. "I was trying to concentrate on the match, but I nearly lost it when I saw what was written on his shirt when he removed it." Grinning, she paused. "Although I'm flattered, I'm currently concentrating on tennis." "I'm sorry, unknown dude." The quality of the tennis, the fervor of the Filipino supporters, Alex Ila's overwhelming victory, and the moment a man in an orange shirt went onto center court and proposed to the champion are just a few of the many memorable aspects of the Birmingham Open. And that moment, in its own peculiar way, encapsulated what made this tournament so unique. Tennis is a serious sport with serious competitors, big stakes, and tremendous pressure, but occasionally, just occasionally, something happens that makes everyone remember why they fell in love with the game. The unexpected, the pandemonium, the ecstasy. Always Laban. And perhaps she will agree the next time. Amazing. A bizarre, unexpected scene left the Birmingham Open audience astonished. It was already a fantastic final between Nikola Bartomkova and Alex Ila. 5-7, 3-6, 7-5 high-stakes grass court tennis for 2 hours and 37 minutes. But long after the score is forgotten, people will remember what transpired at championship point. As 25,000 people roared in laughter, a man in an orange shirt stormed onto center court, tore off his shirt to reveal Alex, "Marry Me" painted on his chest, and was tackled by security guards. Alex Ella, still shaking her head in shock, served out the match to win her second WTA 125 title after the video went viral and memes filled social media. Click the subscribe button to become a member of the Court Legacy family and get more stories about the drama,